you might feel really discouraged because, let's be honest, getting a job is actually difficult. Generally speaking, in any country, the people who are citizens of the country, it's difficult for them to get jobs. So you as an international, why do you think that it's going to be so easy for you to get a job?
I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my head. I'm sick of wishing I could just forgive and forget. I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my mind, my mind, my mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If this is the first time that you're joining, I want to say a very, very big welcome. So guys, I want to say a very big thank you from the previous video I did talking about my whole experience, my journey to employment. You guys you guys ate that content, and I just want to say thank you. Okay, so today's video I'm going to be going in depth talking about the high job demands in China. So yeah, but first I'll talk about what really helped me, my story, and maybe some of you already know about it, but I'll just talk about it for those of you that don't know. I was actually applying to a lot of jobs before, but I didn't get any feedback, I didn't get any response. So I think it's because I was not doing it the right way. So I feel like with these steps I'm going to be sharing with you to really, really guide you and help you on your application. Let's start with the high demand jobs for this video. Then probably in my next video I'll talk about the apps that would help you, if you're looking for jobs, the apps that you can use that will help you. The high demand job title that I used when I was applying was TikTok. Okay, so I just typed TikTok, and then the moment I typed it, there were a lot of jobs, and I was just applying, and I was really getting a lot of feedbacks. I mean, interviews every week. When I was applying, at least 10 interviews I would get. And to be honest, I'm not really exaggerating. You get feedbacks like 100 feedbacks if you're applying for TikTok. But there are some of you that might not be really interested in TikTok. I understand that. So that's why I'm doing this video for you, talking about the high demand jobs. Applying for TikTok jobs, even if you're not interested in it, will really, really help you, really, really guide you, because these apps would show you more jobs that are available that are English taught. Okay, so the most important thing is that you're looking for a job that is English related. For some of you that don't know how to speak Chinese, you're looking for jobs that are English related. So when you type TikTok, even though you're not interested in TikTok, this app, what it does is that it tries to help you, and it brings jobs that are TikTok related. That's the beautiful thing about these apps. When you're applying for TikTok, even though you're not interested in it, it will bring English related kind of job. I'm talking about English teaching, so many English related kind of jobs. So that's why you should give it a try and actually try this. Okay, that's what I did that helped me get this English related kind of job, because even though I was applying for TikTok jobs and I was getting feedback, I was also seeing a lot of English related jobs that I feel like people were not seeing, or people were not probably applying to. In this video, I also talk more about other high demand jobs, not just TikTok. I'll talk about some more high demand jobs that you can also try and see if you can get. Okay, so the first is English language teaching, obviously. So English teaching and tutoring is often in high demand. Why? Because China is a country whereby they are interested in learning foreign languages, especially English. So those of you that don't know this is even one of the jobs that a lot of students even do as part-time jobs, when they come all the way from their country and they're looking for part-time jobs. So many students go into English teaching. So if now you are actually considering the kind of job that you want to do in China, I would really, really recommend English teaching. It's really, really good. I'm talking about in language schools, in international schools, in private tutoring schools and centers. Okay, so these people, if even though that not all these schools or centers have the capacity to provide like a work permit or provide a visa for you, I think that some people, what they do is that they they actually apply for Chinese studies, like 1 year Chinese studies, and then while they are studying, they also apply for these jobs and they're also doing this job. So some of them self use school as a means to just come here and do this English teaching job, and it's really really paying high demand, and it pays a lot of money even compared to jobs related in your field. So English teaching job is very very good. And then the second job is the information technology and software development. Okay, so the software developers and IT professionals are always sought after here. Even the company that I got before, they really, really are into software, solving a lot of customers' problems. They're into like tech related kind of thing, because you already know that China is a hub for buying and selling a lot of products, right? So yes, so the reason why they're always looking for tech guys, people who are into tech, is because they need them to solve some of the customers problems. So now if they sell any of their products to customers and there's any challenge and these customers reach out, they're able to solve some of their problems. So that's why they always are looking for tech guys and IT guys. Okay, another thing that you should also think of going into is international business and trade. Professionals are actually looking for people that are into business and trade. I'm telling you, that's even why TikTok is very, very good, because now a lot of companies, they do their sales on TikTok, right? Because on TikTok, you're not spending money in advertising or anything, you're just decorating your content and selling your product. And it's also really good, it's moving. So imagine now, as a business owner, you're selling your products to internationals. Obviously you'll be looking for internationals that will help, people that are really good in English, that will help sell your product on TikTok or any platform that they use, even through emails. So sometimes some of these companies, they're always in need of internationals, business people who are good in trade. So this is another job or something that you can actually think of doing or applying for. This is another high demand job in China. Also, marketing and digital marketing, international marketing specialists and also digital marketing professionals are needed to promote products and services. So if you are good in promoting products, maybe Facebook, Instagram, any social media platform, just know that if you're really good in promoting products, this is something that you can also do in China. A lot of companies are always wanting to promote their product. They're always wanting to go international. So this is something that you think you can do, why don't you also give it a try and apply for those kind of jobs? And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's not related to my field. It doesn't matter, because this is buying and selling, this is product. I'm sure that somehow your field would definitely be related. Even me too, I used to say, I don't know, this is not related to my field, this is not related to my field. But later I realized that now most of these companies are into production. They produce more than one product. Like now, this company that you think that, oh, this guy is producing just or is just selling clothes or shoes. They're also selling any other electrical appliances. These people, they are just like into buying and selling and everything. And I even need to talk more about this sales thing, because I realized that a lot of people, they will be like, oh, I need to come to China to buy stuffs. And I'm just like, you don't really need to come. I'm going to probably talk about some of the apps that you can actually use to buy some of your products. You don't need to come all the way. you know a lot of a lot of online apps are really really working and authentic. These people will never deceive you, they will never cheat on you, because you're using the apps, and these apps are controlled by the government. So it's not something that you cannot trust. Okay, so the next high demand job is hospitality and tourism. Okay, so jobs like in hotels, resorts, and travel agencies, they're actually available for internationals, and this is something that you can actually think about. Especially if you are really skilled in language, like you know how to speak English, Japanese, any language. Sometimes they look for French speakers, Spanish speakers. So if this is something that you're actually good in, you can actually give it a try and apply for this job. Okay, another high demand job that you can actually think of actually applying is the language translation and interpretation. This one, I tell you guys that it is really, really of high demand here. I'm telling you, you can even do it as part time, even if as your, even as a student. Even as a student, you can actually do this job part time. You can actually translate language from maybe Chinese to any country's language. And I know you may be like, "Ah, but do I know this?" With the use of Baidu app, with the use of Baidu app, you can do an undo. Yes, the Baidu translation app and so many other apps can actually help you to translate some of these languages, right? Because there are so many people that find it difficult translating or even talking in either Chinese or English, So maybe a Chinese person who sells a particular product might not be good in English, and then that's where you come in to assist the company to translate from Chinese to English or to the country of that person. And it could be through spoken, or you can actually be, it can be through writing, through written or spoken, translation. So maybe if you are good in any of this is something you can actually research on and apply on these apps, language translation. Another high demand job is the finance and accounting. Okay, so international companies often require financial professionals, including accountants and financial analysts, with knowledge of global financial practices. So this is another thing that you can actually look for. This is another high demand job you can actually do your research on and check for and apply. Okay, if you're good in money, you're good in numbers, and you're an accountant, you can actually go into this. Another high demand job is the engineering and manufacturing. Okay, the engineers and professionals with expertise in manufacturing products are in high demand. Yeah, so but obviously that if you're going to be working with all this company, they will obviously not want to show you their secrets so that you not go down to your country and start producing and doing on your own. So in short, that's why I used to tell people when they tell me, oh, I have one contact, they are into production, blah blah blah, and they're just feeling themselves. In my mind, I want to tell them the truth that is also an agent, because for you to actually start producing, like to have like this big company, and you have to start producing, you have to get permission from the government, and it's not everybody that have that license or permission to start producing or having this big company and start producing. No. And even when all those companies are employing internationals, they will not even put you in the place where they are doing all their production and what they are doing all their manufacturing. Obviously they won't want you to copy what they are into or what they are like producing. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing that you can actually apply for. Another job you can actually apply for is the healthcare and biotechnology. Okay, so medical professionals, researchers, biotech experts may actually be able to find opportunities in international research, collaboration, and healthcare institution. This is another thing that you can actually do if you're into like healthcare or biotechnology. You can actually go into this and do your research, do more research about it, because this job is on high demand. And the final high demand job is environmental and renewable energy. Okay, so professionals who in environmental sciences and renewable energy, maybe all this mining, all these things, it's also possible to actually get jobs. I know that a lot of people will be like, but do I need to know Chinese before I know all these things? To be honest, you don't. Okay, you don't. Though it's of an advantage if you actually know Chinese. A lot of people who know Chinese, it's so easy for them to get jobs. But even the ones who know Chinese, it's also very difficult for them to get jobs. This thing is just by luck or grace. That's why I'm calling it high demand job, because it's not everybody that actually qualified. But if you know English, and then you know Chinese, like that's really, really a high advantage. Because there are so many times that while I was even applying for a job, this was actually something that was difficult for me because I did not know Chinese. A lot of companies will ask you, "Do you know how to speak Chinese? Do you know how to speak this language?" And I'll be like, "No, my Chinese is not so good." So it's just very, very few companies or schools that maybe they don't mind, even though you don't know how to speak Chinese, they don't mind, and they'll still employ you like that. Those are the only schools or company you can actually work with. For me, thank God, because my boss, she have traveled, she maybe have knowledge about all these things, and for her, she doesn't even mind whether I can speak Chinese or not. She even prefers it that I cannot speak Chinese. If not, I might not even be able to deliver to the kids, right? Because of I can only speak English. That's all I speak, and it's really helped them to improve their English and everything. The students, because as a language teacher, you need to be able to communicate with just that language as often as possible with your students. So as often as possible, I try to communicate in English with my students that I teach currently. But I feel like looking at these high demand jobs is the best. But to be honest, if you start applying, sometimes you're not getting any feedback. You might feel really discouraged because, let's be honest, getting a job is actually difficult. Generally speaking, in any country, it's not easy. Even for the people who are citizens of the country, it's difficult for them to get jobs. So you, as an international, why do you think that it's going to be so easy for you to get a job? So that's why I advise people, and I always talk to them. I try to encourage them and make them not to feel discouraged, because the truth is, even the people who are actually here, like some of the Chinese people, it's also difficult for them to get a job. So if you as an international, you're applying, you're not getting, so why are you like being hard on yourself? You can actually go into the education sector. Why about you apply for maybe Chinese studies, or you get any language something, and maybe you can do part-time job if your school accepts, right? If your school say that it's okay for you to do part-time job, you can actually do part-time job. But don't be too hard on yourself, or don't look down on yourself, or start comparing yourself with anybody, because to be honest, so many people have experience from back home before they even came to China. Some people have 2 years experience, some people have more experiences, and some people's experience are forged. Because it's not even everybody that have the experience. Some people will lie about the experience. So at the end of the day, you cannot compare yourself with nobody. You cannot look down on yourself. If you're not getting opportunity, do not criticize yourself. I think that's one of the things I did for me. Oh, I wasn't criticizing myself. I was not comparing myself with anybody. Even when people try to tell me that it is not possible to get a job because you don't know Chinese, I did not tell myself that, because I did not want to put myself in that position. I wanted to believe that it's possible that I can get, right? So that's the thing. Have your own belief and work on your own mind. Don't be negative. Don't listen to what them say. Be so positive and work hard on that application. I mean, if you don't apply, how would this company see you? Make sure you dedicate at least 10 applications per day. If you do this 10 applications, that's really a lot. And imagine that you're doing like 10 applications. Most of these apps allow you to apply like 100, like send messages to about 100 companies. That's even one of the reasons I love these Chinese apps, because the way they are designed, you can actually send a lot of messages, a lot per day, right? Just be sending it per day. And maybe that per day, you see yourself applying to like almost 100 companies. Imagine like every day you are sending like 100 applications to a high demand job. Remember, it have to be high demand, because if it's not high demand, you may not get it, right? If you are focusing on just jobs in your field, you'll be competing with the Chinese students, which is not going to favor you, because even the Chinese students, they're looking for jobs. So if they're applying for job, you are applying for job, they'll be like this competition. Of course, they'll prefer their own people to you, except the company is an international company, or they are in need of something that have to be related to internationals. So try your best to do all you can to make sure that you can actually get jobs related to high demand jobs, okay? Because these high demand jobs, they are so available. So that's the goal: applying to high demand jobs and applying to as many companies as possible. And I'm telling you, if you do these two things in a month, you will get the job. Okay, in a month, trust me, you will get the job. Your field, if you just depending on your field may not be a high demand job, but if you apply to a high demand job, that high demand company, maybe they have something that relates to your field. So now when you come to that company, you're going to do your field, and also you do that thing that maybe they advertise, even if it may look like they are going to overwork you. Because maybe in this company you're doing your field, you're also doing that thing that they advertise, and they are doing many other things that also the Chinese people are doing. So you just realize that you're doing a lot, even if it might looks like it's a lot, it's a job. So guys, I hope the things that are actually shared in this video is really really helpful. Yeah, I'm feeling so cold right now. That's even one of the reasons I'm talking like this. I just hope it doesn't show in the video, but god, I'm freezing. And also I just really pray and hope that you will get this job. That's like the most important thing, you know. I just pray and hope you will get this job. I think one of the reasons I do some of these videos is just because I'm in my mind, I'm like, I did not see it online. Like when I went through what I went through and I was looking for a job, I did not see how to get a job or some of these things online. So I was just doing experiments all by myself, and then it worked. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe now coming online to talk about it will help a lot a lot of people who are also wanting to get that same opportunity. So let your focus not just be on your field, let your focus be on high demand jobs. Okay, high demand jobs for internationals, that should be your focus, because that company that posted a high demand job might want to employ you not just only because of the high demand job that they posted, but also because of your field. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.